So my practice of walking meditation, it has evolved, I realize, in reflecting on this, over many years. It began in my 30s in what I call my Jane Fonda walking workout. But over the years, it's mellowed into what I call just a walkabout. And it has the flavor not so much of the traditional Buddhist or First Nation walking meditation. It's just a walkabout the neighborhood. Now, rather than a rigorous walkabout or a daily drudge, what my grandmother often called her daily constitution, this is a time for me to just pause whatever activity I'm doing or engaged in, get outdoors, let go of agendas and concerns, and try to open to the world around me. My intention is to enter this time with the expectation that I am being called or invited first to be present, whether something happens or not, to experience a deeper closeness to the earth, sky, water, creatures that I share that piece of neighborhood with, and to open to something both bigger and more intimate that I believe is in some mysterious way part of who I am, and that is part of all the many expressions of creation on this planet. And so I open the door and step out. Now, a little bit of background first. I came to see and name my habit of regular walking explicitly as a spiritual practice when I came to fearfully acknowledge that we are, in fact, living at pivotal time. That life as we know it on this planet is dying, and that humans are the cause of this. That our only way out, our only salvation, is to reconnect with our spiritual centers, with who we truly are. And that the essence of this spirituality is our fundamental interconnectedness to all humans, to all creatures, to all that supports life on this planet. And that as we truly experience our interconnectedness, we will begin as individuals and as species to live out of a place of creative, compassionate, tender, and tough love. I believe that it is only when we are seeking to live out of this place of love that we will have the wisdom, courage, and strength to find the paths and make the changes needed to alter this downward spiral we were currently on. And I think this is happening already. As Joanna Macy says, I feel part of that great turning. In my seeking, I've sensed a need to shape my spiritual practice in ways then that deepen my sense of interconnectedness, my place in this web of life, and to strengthen my desire and willingness to live out of love. So, regularly walking about my neighborhood, being open to all that's part of it, listening to how it's calling me, and being willing to enter into a deeper communion with it seems to help me do this. So my actual practice begins first just waking up, sensing the physical movement of my body, my legs, my arms, noticing a release of tension, becoming aware of those first delicious breaths of fresh air, noticing how my body welcomes that inhale and the exhale, noticing what comes to my senses, the smell of the season, the sensual feel of the air on my skin on summer warm days, or the snap of the winter chill on the little bit of flesh that's exposed. Looking at what's about me, the birds, trees, water, sky, and then the clearing of my head as I try to let go of busyness and the list of whatever feels cumbersome. And so it begins, nothing magic, just a walk. Over time, I found that this walk has taken on the flavor of a pilgrimage with particular places I visit. First, I often go past houses, and I become aware as I walk by them that often a thought or an image or wish comes to mind for the people who are living in those places. The young couple who's gone out west to look for work. the older couple who've gone to Florida for the winter, the woman whose granddaughter is dying of cancer, the fellow building a bunkhouse for his visiting grandchildren. And it isn't like I verbalize a conscious prayer for each one, but walking by their homes reminds me that I'm part of a neighborhood, one that is home to many different families, and I feel gratitude for that. The rest of my walk takes me past glens, shorelines, marshlands, creeks, a gravel pit, hayfields, and much woods. I have choices, which directions, which lanes, but there are regular places where I find myself pausing for a few minutes. The bend in the stream where there's an old beaver lodge, an empty lot that runs and overlooks the lake, capturing both the sunrise and the sunset, a rabbit trail that leads to an opening into the woods encircled by tall hemlocks. These places are like favorite friends to me who call just to come visit, sometimes just to enjoy their presence, sometimes to join in a deeper communion and a deeper sense of presence. That there is something I need to know about these friends, something that they want me to know about them, something I need to share with them, some ponderings, some troubles, delights, or simply the joy of being alive this day. Before moving on in my walk, I often find myself offering a gesture or body prayer that expresses my feelings of gratitude or blessing for that particular part of my neighborhood. So what do I think is happening, and how do I understand this? Being invited to a deeper experience of my interconnection in the web of life, and to feel within my whole body in a very physical way, a live way, that I'm responding or hearing something bigger. It broadens my notion of community, of who my neighbor is. What does it mean to be part of one whole earth community? What does it mean that all with whom I share this planet, people, non-humans, all that supports life, are my brothers and sisters? I truly believe this, but I know that I have a long way to go in understanding the deeper meanings and implications of all of this, both for me and my personal habits and lifestyle, for us as a human community caught in this global economic system that worships money, profit, addictive consumerism, and unlimited growth. And a long way to go in trusting that the one whose spirit flows through me and through all creation holds me as I learn to love more deeply. One of my favorite quotes is from Fyodor Dostoevsky, which might be familiar, and it goes like this: "Love all creation, the whole of it, and every grain of sand. Love every leaf, every ray of God's light. Love the animals, love the plants, love everything. If you love everything, you will perceive the divine mystery in things, and once you have perceived it, you will begin to comprehend it ceaselessly, more and more every day, and you will at last come to love the whole world with an abiding, universal love." In the regular walkabouts in my neighborhood is that I too will at last come to love the world into wholeness and healing.